Thank you very much, Ambassador. I also want to appreciate the presence of the Secretary General after, who is here, made to understand he's here with us. Mr. Wamkele, if you are here, you can stand. Mr. Wamkele, thank you, appreciate you. Unfortunately, owing to time constraints, we'll not be able to give you an opportunity to possibly say a word or two, but nevertheless, we sincerely appreciate your presence, the fact that you've been able to join us this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, I now want to invite our Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Labor and Social Protection, the Honorable Alfred Mutua, then to come and give his speech and invite the Deputy President. Thank you.
Bwana asifiwe. Assalamu alaikum. Your Excellency, Deputy President Kindiki, all the leaders that are here, His Excellency, the Ambassador of Qatar, the permanent principal secretaries, various officers, vijana walio hapa, ambao wengine weko tayari wamebeba mizigo ya kwenda safari hivi leo, na wasalimu. Your Excellency, you know my style, it's chap chap. So I only have 6 points in that formula. Point number 1, I want to thank you very much for agreeing to come to this function and to also to be able to flag off this group that is going to Qatar after a really public recruitment. I also want to thank His Excellency the President for his brilliant idea of labor mobility and the way he's been able to support and push this move because it is essential for our economy. I want to thank also the organizers of this 1 week long, especially our young, energetic man, Dennis Itumbi, for the work that you've been done and the coordination. We don't take it for granted. Your efficiency is well known. 2, when I was appointed to this ministry, a day after I was sworn in to be the Minister for Labor, I wrote a letter to Qatar, and it was transmitted by His Excellency, the Ambassador, to my counterpart, Dr. Ali bin Said bin Samik Al-Mari, the Minister for Labor for Qatar, and invited him to come to Kenya so we can discuss opening up Qatar for professional and skilled labor, so that it's not just cleaners or people, you know, who are going there. So we expanded. When he came, he offered us, when he met the President, a company that was ready to recruit 8,000 Kenyans to go to work in Qatar, including nurses and people of different categories. We had a very public recruitment here at KICC and also at Kabete National Polytechnic, organized very well by our PS for TVET. And we had a wonderful, wonderful recruitment. The Ambassador of Qatar, thank you very much. I'll say you've been very, very supportive. We were able in the first round to recruit slightly over 3,000. And so since then, we've been processing documents. What usually happens, Your Excellency, is that you have to undertake medical. And some people pass, others fail. They are very cautious about chest diseases, but also about people who've been taking drugs. Because you go, they test your blood, they test all these things, and if you've been smoking bangi every once a week or so, it shows. So they don't want people who smoke marijuana in their country. They don't want drug takers in their country. So some people have actually been eliminated because they were taking drugs, yet they were very good, skilled people. Nobody in the world wants drug takers, etc. And then, Your Excellency, also, we had to get their visas all aligned. So today, I'm very happy that now we have started the move. We have visas, we have passports ready, we have air tickets, and the first batch that will be traveling from today to this weekend will be nearly 300 young men and women going to Qatar. And some of them are here with their families. Maybe you can stand up, the first cohort going to Qatar. Simameni wale walio hapa. And you can see they're very well dressed. They are all here, and others wako kule nyuma. So, asante. And some of them, wale wako nyuma pale wanunua mkono, they have come with their suitcases and their families. And after this, we'll ask you to take a photo with them, because at 1 o'clock, I'm escorting them to the airport to make sure wameenda wakiandanga, so that people know that this is real. We do expect that for the other ones, today we've received, and I think, nearly 100 new visas for others. So the visas will now be coming every other day, So this will be a continuous process, people signing job offers, working on it and moving. There are new job offers that have come that have changed. There are people who had been hired to work as cleaners, whose job has changed to work as packers, to pack. It's the same job. So we'll have to be resigning. Some of you will be resigning, the ones traveling tomorrow and over the weekend. And Your Excellency, we are sending a crew with this team so that we can actually show them in Qatar, working in Qatar. Ndio watu wanaosema ni stories za jaba, wameze wembe. Number 3, Dennis Itumbi talked about something very important, about the whole aspect of commissions. Now, there are 2 aspects of employment. You see, these are not our jobs. These jobs that are overseas. It's a company that decides, I want to hire Kenyans. When they say they want to hire Kenyans, some companies say, I will pay for onboarding of the Kenyan. I will pay for their ticket, I will pay for their medical, I'll pay for their transport, I'll pay for all these processes. Their job is just to get into the plane and come here, and I'll take care of them. Those are few. Majority say you want employment. If you're in Kisumu and want to be employed in Nairobi, the person who wants to employ you does not send you a ticket to come here. Unajilete, si ndio? So in the same way they are saying, you come here. Now, Your Excellency, the government cannot recruit people. That is done through agencies that are recruited according to the law. So the recruitment agencies are the ones who know where to rush for medicals, where to do attestation of documents and all that. So these agencies are the ones now you work with to ensure that your documents are in order and to be able to travel. So when the agencies say this is the breakdown, they need to give you a breakdown of how much it costs you for your ticket, everything, plus a small agency fee for them to remain in office. So I hope you understand. So nobody, and this is very important, nobody is forcing you to go. Nobody is forcing you to pay. You make the choice. I went to Australia. They say they want nurses. They'll be paying them 500,000 shillings a month. But before you can become a nurse in Australia, before you go, they need you to do attestation, they need you to do exams. When you look at all those things plus the ticket of nearly $1,500, it comes to nearly 300,000 shillings just to go to Australia. The companies, they are not paying, but they say the job is here, get everything done and you come. So it's good for you to understand that there are some that provide everything, others don't provide everything, and it's there. My job as a minister is to make sure that you're not conned. If you've paid a deposit and you fail your medicals, then you get back the remaining money that you need to get. You don't get conned, and you go back and you do your life. Maybe you change your mind after a while. You know, you find a beautiful girl, you decide, roho yangu, nyota yangu ni hii, sitaki kumwacha hapa, ataenda. So you say, I'm not traveling. I want to get married. I've got another job in Kenya. It's okay. They cut the medical fee, they cut their fee that they use to process you, and they give you back the rest of the money. So nobody will be conned under my watch. Number 4, there are all types of jobs that are available, Your Excellency. The other day I went to see off a group of 42 that are going to the Bahamas. Chefs, waiters, very good salaries at the Bahamas. And so we've got all kinds of jobs that are available. We currently going on right now at the TVET here, Nairobi Technical, no, the other one here, near Pangani, Kamukunji. Right now, they are interviewing people who are riders. Mutua boda boda, unapata kazi, you become a rider in Dubai, dropping packages and everything, and you make 100,000 shillings a month. That is going on. There is going to be an activity in Kilifi for the same. This morning, I got an offer. Somebody said they have 7,000 jobs of technical work. Plumbers, electricians, for Dubai. We'll be announcing that so that you give an opportunity to everybody. I will still go around the country, so I can go to every county, so people don't have to come to Nairobi to get jobs. We have some that will be in Nairobi because of ease and the speed, because the 7,000, they need them before the end of the year. We have to do them in a central place, but others will be going last. Your Excellency, as we hired these people, Qatar, in the list that they gave us, some of the people that were hired, 23 have been banned because they went to Qatar before and they broke the law. So whatever you do follows you. So those, they're actually drivers. We have now to tell them, sorry, you cannot travel. You're not wanted in Qatar. They just send us the list. The ambassador here organized with the ministry, and we just recruited 200 police officers for Qatar. And they are just doing their security check. By the end of this month, they'll be going to Qatar to work as police officers, making good money in Qatar. 5, as I get to the end. There's this talk about brain gain versus brain drain. When people leave the country and go overseas, they're not going to stay there. They'll come back. They're actually gaining skills. When you go to Germany, for example, or you go to England and you're working as a technician, you're gaining skills that we don't have in our country, or even better way of doing things. So when you come here, you're actually bringing better ideas that we have not seen before. How to do things better. If you go to Qatar, Qatar has very high standards, very first world country. You find that hii madhogodhani unaeka gypsum vibaya, vitu unaeka vibaya, autataki. You'll come back with discipline of how to do your things. The polytechnics, the TVETs are usually adjusting their curriculum to fit the international standard that has been required by Qatar, Saudi, and other nations. So we are actually gaining when people go overseas. And we have very many people out here. We have over 5.4 million Kenyans who can work if they got an opportunity to work. We can't absorb all of them. When a few go overseas, it doesn't mean that we are losing anything in our country, because we have more professionals, people who are trained, than we actually can absorb in our economy. So they go, but the gap is not there. But they go and come back with new ideas. So wale naysayers, wanapiga mdomo, wanasema hii iwezekani, nitakwambia inawezekana. And this will happen. Wacha wale wanataka kwenda waende. Wewe funga mdomo, kaa hapo na hiyo pesa yako na kazi yako, because the ones complaining about people going overseas, yeye yuko kazini. Na hajui wewe uko nyumbani umesota. Wewe mwambiwe nyamaza, kaa nyumbani, wacha sisi tujitafutie haki yetu, tuende ngambo, tutarudi, tuendelee kujenga taifa. Na tujenga taifa tukiwa huko, tukituma pesa. And lastly, point number 6, Your Excellency, mbele iko sawa. It is now my pleasure to invite a gentleman and a leader that I really respect, a man who follows that Chinese adage that say, tread softly but carry a big stick. Your Excellency, Honorable His Excellency Kindiki, let's all be upstanding and welcome His Excellency to give us a few words of wisdom. Karibu.
Good morning, and please be seated. Each year, the World Bank publishes the World Development Report covering a particular theme. In 2013, the title of the bank's World Development Report was Jobs. This simple title said much about the most pressing economic issue facing the world at that time, and a problem that remains current today as it was 10 years ago. The number of people who are unemployed and the length of time that they remain unemployed is rising. The World Bank has put the unemployment rate for Kenya at 5.7% in 2024. In view of these statistics, reducing unemployment is arguably the single most important economic objective of the present moment. As we conclude this inaugural Jamhuri National Job Fair 2024, I am grateful to all who came up with this theme and conceptualized the hosting of a national consultation on the question of employment and job creation. I want to pay great tribute to Minister for Labor, Dr. Alfred Mutua, the wonderful team of senior government officials, principal secretaries, Mwadime, Principal Secretary Roslyn Jogu, Principal Secretary Esther Moria, and all the heads of the various agencies of the government of Kenya. And in a particular way, I pay great tribute on this occasion to His Excellency the Ambassador of Qatar to the Republic of Kenya, who have facilitated the outcome we celebrate today. Thank you very much. And I want all of you to know, and the teams that have worked with you, and all the partners, that what you're doing is not only historic, but goes a long way in solving the crisis of our time, not just in Kenya, but in the world. And that is to find opportunities for young people to earn a living, to work, and to build inclusive economies for our people. I want to appreciate the behind the scenes and the great strategic and operational support offered to this program by a young man called Dennis Etumbi, who has always been on the forefront in this national endeavor for many years now. Congratulations to all of you. This event today stands as a testament of our collective commitment as government, private sector, and citizens to address one of the most critical challenges of our time, namely creating sustainable economic opportunities for our people and enhancing household incomes. Through the collective engagements of the last 4 days, we have witnessed the power of collaboration, dialogue, and action in the true spirit of our nation, our heritage and splendor. Ladies and gentlemen, the cornerstone of the Jamhuri Job Fair has been a dialogue on employment creation. The government is committed to job creation through strategic investments in agriculture, manufacturing, green energy, technology, and tourism, among other sectors. We are not merely creating jobs. We are crafting pathways to dignity, self-reliance, and prosperity for every Kenyan. Our job creation strategy is structured like the proverbial three-legged stool: kazi kwa ground, kazi majuu, and kazi mtandaoni. This approach ensures that we create jobs locally, even as we actively engage in creating jobs online and creating an overseas workforce through the labor mobility program. I would like to explain that the labor mobility program is one of the 3 strategic approaches to job creation that the government of Kenya is undertaking. The first strategic approach is to create jobs in Kenya, within Kenya, by expanding the economy and by also partnering with the private sector to absorb as many young people as we can in the public sector and in the private sector. We have a number of labor-intensive programs that are ongoing, that are creating jobs for many young people as we speak within the country. This includes the ongoing affordable housing program opportunities that are ongoing in all the 47 counties of Kenya, the construction of county aggregation and industrial parks in all the 47 counties of Kenya, the construction of economic stimulus market projects across the country. I think we are building about 400 markets, and also other works that are ongoing in various government programs. And there are many opportunities, not just for young people to work in these programs, but also for manufacturers who are in the housing industry, construction industry, to enhance their capacity to absorb a few more people because of increased sales in cement, windows, doors, and everything that goes into the construction industry. Other than that, we have the Climate Works program, which is allowing young people to get jobs in our climate change and ecosystem restoration program, which has begun in Nairobi with about 20,000 young people and will be expanded to 40,000 within Nairobi and then to other parts of the country in the coming months. The second strategy, ladies and gentlemen, is kazi mtandaoni. And even before I talk about kazi mtandaoni, it is important again to remind us that within the kazi kwa ground, other than in the construction industry, as I have explained, we continue also to absorb young people and workers in the public sector. In the last 2 years alone, we have employed 76,000 teachers, a historic high by any administration in 2 years. We have also employed thousands of others in the Kenya Defense Forces, the National Police Service, in ministries, departments, and agencies within the public sector. Others have been absorbed in the private sector as the economy continues to recover. So we are creating jobs in Kenya. And that program of kazi kwa ground must continue in earnest in the new year, and we are going to create more and more opportunities here in Kenya, even as we continue expanding our economy. I want to say we've come from a very difficult economic situation. In the last 2 years, the macroeconomic indicators in many parts of the world were looking not so good, including for Kenya, as a result of the 2 years of COVID between 2020 and 2021, when the economy of the country and many other parts of the world were closed down completely. That, with the high interest global rates, global high interest rates, the war in Ukraine, and a few other factors led to the kind of crisis which we came face to face with in 2022 when this administration assumed office. I am pleased to report that the worst is behind us. 2 years down the line, by the grace of God and the hard work of this administration under the stewardship of President William Ruto, the macroeconomic situation has been brought into stability. Today, inflation, which was at 9.7%, is at 2.7%, the lowest in 17 years. Today, the exchange rate, the strength of the Kenyan shilling, which was weakening every day, if not every hour, has been stable from a high of nearly 170 to a stable 127, 129 for the last almost 1 year. Today, the prices of fuel have been stable and decreasing every month. Today, the prices of essential commodities, foodstuffs, are reducing, especially maize flour and other staple foods. And therefore, the macroeconomic situation looks good. Not to forget, in the same vein, that the interest rates for the middle class who are looking for money to expand their businesses are going down every day, every month. From a high 15.5% a year ago, today we are talking about 11.25%, which is a record decrease in so many years. So the macroeconomic situation is under control. What remains in the months and days ahead is to strengthen the microeconomic situation in our country, to provide more jobs to our people, and enhance incomes at household level. And that is the work that lies ahead of us in the next 3 years. Ladies and gentlemen, excellencies, in order to meet this aspiration, and before I talk about that, I also need to mention that is the Kazi Kwa Ground program. We also have Kazi Mtandaoni program, which is creating online jobs, digital jobs. How are we doing this? We are constructing 1,450 ICT hubs, one in every ward in Kenya. Today, 272 of these spread across the country are already operational. And young people are accessing digital jobs as content creators, digital jobs as software developers, digital jobs within the business processing, outsourcing, and many other opportunities through online opportunities. Other than the Kazi Mtandaoni, Kazi Maju, which brings us here today. And Kazi Maju complements all these approaches that I've already illustrated. In the Kazi Maju, we are saying in a globalized world, it really doesn't matter where you find a job. You can find a job here in Nairobi. You can find a job virtually through your computer and your phone. But you can also find a job in a friendly country like Qatar or many other countries that are increasingly opening up their nations for workers from Kenya. It really doesn't matter. The same way someone born in Garissa can come and work in Nairobi is the same way somebody born in Machakos can find a job in Qatar, in Doha. And therefore we need to explain that Kazi Maju is not a migration program. It needs to be clarified. Kazi Maju is a labor mobility program to assist workers to access jobs outside Kenya. They remain patriotic, they love their country, and the opportunities provided by our friends, including Qatar, are opportunities for them to go and work, and we pray that they will stay there, obey the laws of Qatar, and be able to create friendships and networks in that country. But we are not sending them away. We are asking them to invest in Kenya, and they are always free to come back home at whatever point. Once they get skills, once they invest enough, they are always able to come back. We could keep on sending more and more. So this is about labor mobility. It's not about migration. In order to meet this aspiration, we recognize the need for structuring our training to meet local demand, even as we prepare labor for the international market. Our education system, now going through reforms, is working to keep up with the trends in the industry. The traditional job market has changed. Schools that have been producing graduates who are less useful to industry are now under reorganization to align with industry needs. Educationists and industry stakeholders now have the opportunity to create strong partnerships to design a better balanced mix. It will now be possible to keep abreast with the latest technologies and trends so that we can increase the chances of youths finding opportunities. We are also laying emphasis on recognition of prior learning under the recognition of prior learning program. Under this program, skilled Kenyans who have no certificates are being recognized and issued with certificates by government accredited institutions to arm them in their search for jobs. There are people who have prior learning as masons, carpenters, as plumbers, And we are working now with our TVET institutions and other training institutions to recognize some of these skills and accredit them based on global and internationally accepted standards in the industry. The government is focusing on vocational and technical education as a core strategic agenda. Through this approach, we are ensuring that our youth are not just employable, but thrive in an increasingly competitive global market. The success stories achieved so far in this space are living proof of what is possible when talent meets opportunity. So far, over 6,000 skilled workers have been certified under the recognition of prior learning program. 6,170 coxswains have been trained. 272 ICT hubs across Kenya have been set up to establish a platform for digital jobs such as content creators and software development. Through industrial-based attachments, we have secured the training of farm hands and farm managers and built a strong constituency of certified masons, plumbers, and carpenters through the affordable housing program and other construction works. This initiative is a promise to every Kenyan worker that your government will stand by you, from equipping you with the right skills to protecting your rights wherever you go to provide labor in service to self and country. The future is bright. To the youth, the future is yours to shape. Take full advantage of the opportunities provided through the various initiatives I have illustrated, vocational training programs, and government-backed platforms. Your energy and innovation are Kenya's greatest assets. To the private sector, we urge you to intensify your engagement in job creation, especially in emerging sectors like technology, agribusiness, and the creative economy. Together, let us build ecosystems that nurture dreams and deliver results. The government of Kenya remains steadfast in its mission to foster an inclusive economy where every citizen has the opportunity to contribute and succeed. I thank you all for your active participation, innovative ideas, and unwavering commitment to this shared journey. As we leave this fair, let us carry forward the vision of a Kenya where every young person has a chance to thrive, where businesses flourish, and where our creative industries shine brightly on the global stage. Together, let us continue building a Kenya that works for all. Mabibi na mabwana, nimefurahi kufika hapa siku ya leo. Siku ya leo tunasherekea vijana wetu ambao wataanza kusafiri kutoka nchini kwenda mji wa Doha kule Qatar. And kutoka leo mpaka wikendi hii, vijana 300 wa kwanza wataanza safari zao kuelekea Doha kupitia mswada wa nchi rafiki ya Kenya ya Qatar, ambayo imefungua taifa lao kwa wafanyakazi kutoka nchi yetu ya Kenya. Tunashukuru sana na tunasema hii ni njia moja ya njia 3 ambazo serikali inatumia kupatia vijana wetu ajira na kupatia watu wa Kenya matumaini ya kiuchumi, ili nchi yetu iwe nchi sawa na nchi ambao wale ambao hawana kazi ni wachache, na ikiwezekana kila mtu katika taifa letu awe na ajira. Njia ya kwanza ni kuhakikisha kwamba tunabuni nafasi za kazi hapa nchini kupitia wale ambao tunaendelea kuajiri katika idara ya umma ama sekta ya umma, wafanyikazi kama wafanyikazi wa umma, kama polisi, wanajeshi na wafanyikazi wa wizara mbalimbali katika taifa letu la Kenya na katika magatuzi yetu. Lakini vile vile kuna wale wanapata kazi katika sekta ya kibinafsi, na tunapongeza sekta ya kibinafsi, na tunaahidi sekta ya kibinafsi ya kwamba tutaendelea kupanua uchumi wetu ili mpate biashara zenu zikue, muweze kuajiri Wakenya zaidi katika biashara zenu. Kwa hivyo tunaendelea kubuni nafasi hapa nchini. Lakini vile vile tunaendelea kubuni nafasi katika mitandao, nafasi za kazi. Vijana wengi siku ya leo, sio Kenya pekee, kote duniani wanafanya kazi za kimitandao, na ndiposa tunajenga vituo 1450 katika Jamhuri ya Kenya. Kati ya hiyo idadi, vituo 272 viko tayari na vinatumika, na vijana wengi wameanza kupata kazi za kimitandao. Sehemu ya tatu na ya mwisho katika pembe tatu za serikali hii za kubuni nafasi za kazi ni kupeleka Wakenya wale wanataka na wanapata nafasi katika nchi ambazo ni rafiki na nchi ya Kenya, waende pale wafanye kazi, wapate hela. Hiyo hela wasaidie jamii zao, wawekeze katika nchi yetu, na wakipata hela ya kutosha ama wakipata ujuzi wa kutosha, wako na uhuru kurudi nyumbani. Kwa hivyo sisi hawa vijana wetu hatuwafukuzi Kenya, ni kazi tu wameenda. Kama vile mtu anaweza kuwa ametoka Garissa apate kazi Nairobi, lakini yeye kwao nyumbani ni Garissa. Kama vile tunasema siku ya leo, vijana ambao wamepata kazi, bado nyinyi ni wa Kenya, lakini tumewapatia kazi pale, na ni masaa 4-5 tu kama unataka kurudi Kenya. This is your country, you are always welcome. We want also, tunataka pia kusema ya kwamba tuna mpango wa kutambua vipawa vya wale ambao ni wafanyakazi hawakufanikiwa kwenda shule, lakini wako na ujuzi. Wengi wao wako katika sekta ya jua kali, wanajua umekaniki, wanajua kazi ya mambo ya shamba, wanajua udreva, wanajua mambo mengi, wana ujuzi lakini hawana cheti. Tuko na mpango wa kuwapatia hao vyeti ili pia wapate nafasi ya kazi. Kwa hivyo siku ya leo mimi nafurahi sana. Naomba Wakenya waunge mkono vijana wetu ambao wanaenda ng'ambo. Tuwaombee, na pia tuombee nchi zetu marafiki ambao wanatupatia nafasi kama hizi. Nchi ya Qatar imesema kwa mfano iko na nafasi ya zaidi ya 8,000 za watu wetu ya Kenya, nchi moja tu, na zinaweza hata kuongezeka. Jameni, tusipinge mradi ya Wakenya ambao hawana kazi na wamepata kazi na wanataka kwenda kufanya hiyo kazi, na hatuwafukuzi Kenya. Wewe kama uko na kazi, shukuru Mungu. Kuna mwingine hana kazi, na sehemu hii tunatumia serikali ni kutafutia vijana wetu kazi mahali popote pale. Ile kazi tunapata hapa tunapatia vijana wetu, ile kazi tunapata kule nje tunapatia vijana wetu, kazi ambayo tunapata kwa mitandao tunapatia vijana wetu. Kwa hivyo mimi sitaki kuwachosha sana, nimeshukuru sana kuwa hapa, na watakia kila laheri. Your Excellency the Ambassador, I was praising your country for supporting Kenya. We don't take it for granted, and this is what friendly relations is all about. It's about action, not talk. It's about practical results. We really appreciate you. Kenyans are very good workers. They are hardworking, law-abiding, well-skilled. They will serve your country well. They will stay well. They will abide by the laws of your country. They will make friendships and networks, and they are always welcome back whenever they want to come home. We have enough people. If you want us to give you people every day, we have enough people, 5.5 million skilled workers who do not have an opportunity today. Kwa hivyo nawashukuru sana, na watakia baraka ya Mwenyezi Mungu kwa niaba ya Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya Mheshimiwa William Ruto ambaye amenituma hapa. Kwa niaba ya sisi zote tunashukuru, na sasa it is now my pleasure to officially flag off the first cohort of 300 young people who are going to work in Qatar. Safari njema, Mungu wabariki, mubarikiwe, familia zenu zibarikiwe. We will always be there to support you. Once more, my colleagues, led by CS Mutua, thank you for the good job. Thank you for the partnerships, the friendships, you're going out of your way to make sure that this program works. And at the risk of repeating myself, this is the most consequential program that the government can do to its people. Finding opportunities for young people. You don't know how many families are touched by this event today. You have no idea. So I'm not worried about people who are criticizing, and I'm wondering why a Kenyan should criticize a fellow Kenyan who has got a job. So I wish you well, and God bless you. Asante sana. God bless you and keep you.
And now the CS and His Excellency are launching the strategic plan.
So the first strategy is the National Strategy on Skills Development for National Mobility.